oh why. Another week means more woke white women being wickedly wrong and wreaking havoc. Who's the worst this week? Well, Karen, let's find out. I'm Katie Petrick, and this is Healthy Republic. Cancel culture is a fickle beast, and the white woke liberal women found mostly on college campuses is rampant, telling you and me just how evil we are. You may have done nothing wrong. You were just minding your business, doing your job, and treating everyone the way you want to be treated. That is to say, treating every individual as just that, an individual. But the Karens of the world are ruining it for all. They used to just complain to managers if, heaven forbid, they had to wait for service. But now these Karens are focused on race and are all about yelling at you if you are not sufficiently anti-racist. And the Karen of them all is clearly Nancy Pelosi.
Article 1 is adopted. Supports our values as a country.
Pelosi cares so much about racism in this country that she can't even remember the name of the man for whom she was faking to be anti-racist.
His name will be always remembered because you will name the bill for him, that this legislation is worthy of George Kirby's name.
Come again? George Kirby was a 20th century comedian known for his impressions, which included white people. So I guess that means he's canceled. Or maybe not, because he's black, and that means it's not racist. Because really, either of them is not racist.
What are you talking about? Nobody can force anybody to move from their home. What is this country coming to when a family can't live in peace without a bunch of them creeps driving them out? I mean, a man's home is his castle. That's in the Constitution.
That is spot on, Archie Bunker. Thank you, George Kirby. But this is about George Floyd, who Nancy Pelosi doesn't really care about, much like she doesn't care about the Constitution. She's just using George Floyd to push her whacked-out narrative. Like saying that Senate Republicans are trying to get away with the murder of George Floyd on the police reform bill.
Senate Republicans are demanding an apology for that statement. Will you apologize?
Absolutely, positively not. The fact is, people say, I think you frankly in the press have given them far too much credit for a bill that does nothing. They're saying, well, you have your bill, they have theirs. Yeah, our bill does something, theirs does nothing.
Is Tim Scott working in good faith, I guess?
I'm sorry?
She really is the ultimate Karen. Everything about her is for her and fake to the core. This is where I agree that we should tear down certain statues. Like this one. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not a statue? That's just a photo of Pelosi and Chuck Schumer? Fooled me. Another Karen fooled Jimmy Fallon, which isn't really that hard to do. He doesn't seem like he's the brightest bulb. Anyway, he just had Dr. Robin DiAngelo, the author of White Fragility, on his show to basically shame all of us whiteys, as a Karen does.
White people often say, I'm not racist. I know you have, I have done things in my life I recognize as racist today. I would not do them again. They were neither intentional or even conscious, and yet they wounded other people nonetheless. I think white people should remove that phrase from their vocabulary. I'm not racist. It's not, trust me, it's not convincing to black people. As long as we define racism as individual intentional acts of meanness, then I would agree with you that most white people are not racist.
Ugh. The smug arrogance. And then Jimmy Fallon's face. She is saying that you better listen to her because apparently she speaks on behalf of all black people. These are examples of just two of the more famous Karens, if you will. But let's not forget about all the Karens who are trying to make the Karen name for themselves. Like this Karen.
You're white and you're telling this to two black police officers.
Yeah.
Do you see the problem with that a little bit?
No, I don't, because you know what? Just because I'm white and I haven't experienced racism myself doesn't mean I can't fight for justice. They're a part of the system. They're a part of the problem. Just because they're black doesn't mean they're not a part of the problem.
Gotcha.
I'm allowed to say this to whoever. Because I'm white, racism is a white person's problem.
Yep.
Racism is my problem. I need to fix
Simmer. She totally read the book White Fragility, as did probably this woman who decided to walk in shame on behalf of white people.
I don't want to continue to see Black America being oppressed and held down and killed like animals.
And in the name of equality, here's a male Karen, although I'm assuming gender.
What do you hope to accomplish by yelling at them?
I hope that she takes her Blue Lives Matter flag sign off. I think that's extremely disrespectful.
And again, black guy, black woman.
I hope that they can tell her the same thing that I can tell her.
Black guy.
I hope they think the same thing I think. I hope he supports Black Lives Matter. I hope he supports Black Lives Matter. I know you don't, but I hope every man here and every woman does.
So you're white and you're telling the black guy he doesn't.
I mean, I don't understand why people think the way they think.
Oh, you wait. This racist gets dumber.
And it's sad that the white people need to be here, but there aren't enough black people because what they've done to black people. We know why there's such a small percentage of the population. If America was 80% black, I'm sure I would be black right now.
And in the name of equality, here's a black Karen who actually is named Karen. The Washington Post's Karen Atia is attacking those fake Karens for all of their wokeness. In a since-deleted tweet, the real Karen told of the lies and tears of white hath wrought, including the 1921 Tulsa Massacre and excluding black women from feminist movements. She then tweeted, "I'm just saying, be happy we are calling for equality and not actual revenge." In April, this Karen explained in a Washington Post column how the name Karen is used to belittle people. She wrote, "In the past several years, Karen has come to represent a certain archetype of middle-aged white female privilege, or the new N-word, depending on whom you ask. Yup, Karen is the new black. Becky and Karen memes and jokes should be understood in this context, part of a long tradition to use humor to try to cope with the realities of white privilege and anti-blackness." Aw, snap, Karen. The Karen who wrote that. Not the Karen she's referring to. Too many Karens, you know? But in the name of equality, we must also show a sassy good Karen. On Sunday night, protesters were on private property using a private driveway to march on down to the St. Louis mayor's home to demand her resignation when a sassy Karen named Patricia McCloskey and her husband Mark stood on defense. The protesters broke through a gate to get onto the street. That's called trespassing. Since Patricia and Mark are personal injury lawyers, I suspect they will know how to handle the aftermath. This is the downward sloping path we are on. Americans are holding up their weapons, ready to defend their homes. If only the Karens would take a cue from that old dead white guy named Bill Shakespeare. The lady doth protest too much, methinks. Maybe then we would slow this path and cooler heads would prevail. But they're canceling Shakespeare for that very reason. So instead, we're left with Karens. Until next time, stay healthy, America.